if farmers can prepare, what we're asking them to do is activate biosecurity plans that they have already and just make sure that they're up to date on that. The key point is to try and minimise contact with wildlife, so make sure that you close the door on the poultry house, things like that, but also maintaining the basics of biosecurity. So clean boots, wearing clean clothes as you go into your shed, and making sure that the water supply is clean water and of drinking quality. So we've got an incident management team, and their job is particularly to coordinate the surveillance. So to take those reports and make sure that we are sampling across the state, not that we're not sampling the same body of birds multiple times because we get a large number of calls there. We're also establishing plans to confirm what we would do should it happen in the country, in the state, and we can then make sure that we've got plans to implement, that we can have swift action and do the best we can for the wildlife and the commercial poultry industry. There would be potentially movement restrictions on the areas that we consider infected. Now that may be national parks or that may be a backyard property depending on what we find. We undertake tracing, which is where we map the movements to make sure that people haven't moved what we call the risk commodities. And so that may mean that if you've taken a bird to the vet clinic, we'll follow up with that vet clinic to make sure that they've implemented disinfection actions. If we need to, we'll also take some disposal options where we can take the birds that unfortunately are deceased and dispose of them in a biosecure manner, so we're not leaving the carcass there for other birds or other wildlife to be infected, but also we can make sure that we're minimising the public health risk. So we're getting about 100 calls a day, and about 5 or 6 of them have to be followed up. So we are getting a lot of multiple reports from the same dead birds. The one sort of saving grace we have is our world-class biosecurity system, where we probably will detect the first 1 or 2 cases, so we can start to implement actions to minimise the risk to the wildlife and the poultry sector. So this strain circulating worldwide has infected a large number of mammals, particularly dairy cattle in the US. However, the strain that has been detected in both WA and South Australia isn't mammalian adapted, so there is much lower risk at this stage for the mammalian industries, particularly wildlife and poultry is still our focus. Please do not have any interactions with sick or dead wildlife. And I know that's what you want to do, but the best thing that we can do is to avoid interaction. Record what you see, so take the location and the number of birds and any clinical signs if you happen to note that, and report it to the hotline on 1800 675 888 so that we can take appropriate action.